Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you day 2 of the experiment. So we have now had our grow cubes, which started out like this. These teeny tiny little grow cubes. We put it in the water for at least 12 hours. Okay, so this is the original, about the original size of the grow cube. Now that it's been in water, I need to calculate its new size. So this is how big the grow cube is now. So first, here's my lab notebook. You all have a packet. The little cube, I've already calculated the length, width, height, and volume. Now it's day 2, so I'm going to have to do this for the grow cube after day 2. Using my ruler. Now if it's a perfect square, every value is going to be the same. This is not a perfect square. All sides aren't the same. So remember, start at the 0. Okay, so the half line is 0.5, so that's 3.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. So it's at 3.9 centimeters. So I know it's 3, I know the line, I know it's 0.9. Now I have to make a guess. And for my guess, I'm going to say it's 3. Maybe it's less than 9. This is so hard. I'm going to say it's 3.89. So it's almost 3.9, but this is the 8th line, and it looks like it's really close to the 9th line. In centimeters is now 3.8. I know that for sure. I know the 3 for sure because I see those marked on the rulers. The 9 I know for sure, or the 8, because that's how many lines there are. The next value is an estimate. So I said it looked like it was super close to the 9th line. So that's why I'm going to say it's 3.89 centimeters. So if you are at home and you don't have this, you can copy off of me. If you are at school, you need to measure your own grow cube. And then finally, if you're at home and you did this experiment, you need to measure the length of your own. Now we need to measure width. So I'm going to rotate the cube to measure width. So that was length. Now let's just get another side. So I'm rotating the cube. Remember to start at the 0 line. Okay. This isn't a perfect square, so it's going to be a little different. So there's 3 centimeters, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. Looks like it's just short of the 3rd line. So I'm going to say it's 3.1, 3.2, 3.28, I'm going to say this time. So again, I know for sure it's 3.2 because there's lines that mark that. What I don't know is the next value, which I just estimate, and it looked like it was closer to the 3rd line than the 2nd, so I'm going to make this number a little bit higher, a 7. Okay, so this number might be different than mine, and that's fine. So 3.2 centimeters. Okay, 3.27 centimeters. If you are at home, you don't have a grow cube, you can copy mine. If you are at home and you do have a Grow Cube, measure your own. If you're at school and you have your own, measure your own. Next, we're going to measure the height. So I've measured this cube this way. I've measured the cube this way. For height now, I'm going to flip it so it's standing. I'm breaking my cube into little pieces. They're fragile. Okay. So this is 3.12345. So I know for sure it's 3.5 because there's lines that show me that. So this next value is a guess, and I'm going to say it was perfectly on the line, so I'm going to put a 0 there. 3.9 centimeters. Now I need to calculate the volume. So you're multiplying this value by this value by this value. 3.89 times 3.27 times 3.50. If you are at home and you do not have your own Grow Cube, you need to copy my values into your spreadsheet or into your lab sheet on the computer, right here. If you are at home and you have your own, you need to calculate using your numbers, which are going to be different than mine. If you're at school, you need to calculate. Now, multiply these three numbers together and your numbers will be different than mine. So I'm not going to do this because I want students to practice on their own multiplying these three numbers together. Okay, let's do mass. So we're measuring in grams. So make sure your scale is on G, which stands for grams. Then I'm going to put it in here so my scale doesn't get dirty. I need to push tare, which clears it. So that's as if this isn't here right now. Now I'm going to measure the Grow Cube in grams, and it's 36 grams. It's between 36 and 37. So that's where my guess is. I'm going to type in or write down on my lab notebook 36.5 grams. So we always make one more guess than what our measuring tool tells us in science. So let's see where I did that. If you're at school, you're going to have to measure on your own. Sorry, it's better if I do this. If you're at school, you're going to have to measure grams on your own. If you're at home, you can use mine because you probably don't have a scale. So if you're at home, you can use my grams. Okay. Now I'm going to calculate the density. So that means I'm taking this number, the mass, and I'm dividing it by the volume here. So it's going to be 36.5 grams divided by, that's whatever I found here. And I'm not putting that in yet because I want students to do it on their own, because you already saw me do it the first time on your own. Then you need to respond to the questions, the follow-up questions. Okay? After that, we're going to grow a seed in our Grow Cube. Okay, so I actually had to do another one because I broke it with my pen. So you're going to take your seed, set it on top, and if you have a straw, that would work best. If you have and I'm just going to poke a hole with a straw. If you have a pencil, that might work too. And I'm actually going to, there we go. Oops. You could poke it all the way through. That might be what I have to do. Oh, there. So it just came out, some of the Grow Cube. And now there's a hole so that when I press it in, Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully it won't break. Woohoo! Perfect. So now it's in the middle there. And let me show you what this will look like after a few days. So even the one I screwed up on, there's still enough material around for the pea to start growing its roots. So this is what happens beneath the soil that you do not see. So that will be fun. We'll probably be checking this out later. So hold on to that because there might be an opportunity for us to explore back on what's going on. So please make sure that you follow through with this experiment and you put the seed in the grow cube.